The Lilacs, Thompson Kidder's country seat in Medford, Massachusetts, represents one of many estates, large and small, that were developed in the towns surrounding Boston in the years following the American Revolution. An intriguing series of watercolor drawings provides a detailed picture of the unity of ornament and productivity in the landscape design of the early 1800s. The main approach to the house features a curved drive and a circular garden, both defined by regularly spaced flowers and shrubs. Simple wooden trellises flank the front entry, and vines twine around the pair of columns to complete the symmetrical and ornamental composition. The rear tract of land was intensely cultivated with fruit trees and a vegetable garden. Kidder also developed a series of terraces with curvilinear beds designed to conform to the existing natural contours of the land in order to maximize the planting area on the steep site. The practical design was balanced with aesthetic touches, such as winding paths and a lattice summer house. The layout of the garden at Rundlet-May House in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, has changed little since it was created in 1807. The house was situated on a terraced site with 2 acres of gardens and an orchard. A long shed and stable separated the service yard from the gardens. The grounds were divided into rectangular beds, perhaps reflecting Rundlet's conservative taste. The formal arrangement was also in keeping with the ordered context of city life. During the early years of the New Republic, many high-style residences were constructed in New England's bustling port towns and cities. Typically, these building lots were narrow but had considerable depth. In contrast to the naturalistic park-like designs found in rural areas, these urban gardens tended to be symmetrical and enclosed. The Brockway garden in Newburyport, Massachusetts, shared many similarities with the garden at the Rundlet-May house. Both were elevated on grass terraces with fences enclosing the front yards and had deep rear gardens. Each was organized into geometric-shaped beds, but the Brockway garden was of a more complex design than the simple rectilinear forms of James Rundlet's garden. Theodore Lyman's The Vale is one of the few surviving estates in the Boston area that represents the tastes, interests, and aspirations of late 18th century patrons of landscape design, horticultural collecting, and experimental agriculture. Beginning in 1793, Lyman bought several existing farms in Waltham, Massachusetts, eventually acquiring nearly 400 acres with the express purpose of creating a country seat. Lyman never traveled to England, but he did hire an English gardener, William Bell, to help him lay out the grounds in the naturalistic traditions popularized by Capability Brown. The landscape at the Vale evolved continually as successive generations of the Lyman family added to and modified the estate. Although the view of the park shown in these images is now lost, many 18th century features survive, including the peach wall and the greenhouses, which still are home to the Lyman's heirloom grapes and camellias. For information on current SPNEA exhibits and other programs, click on the SPNEA logo. We hope you've enjoyed our presentation. I'm Laura Carlo for Antiques America.